Okay, so thank you all for joining. Today we are starting this book club from Shreehi, the first of the series of webinars, and we are looking forward for more to come. Today's book club is on this book, Ghachar Ghochar. The audio book was shared with many of you. I hope most of you would have heard the audio book and you've come. If you have not heard the story, also don't worry. Brinda will kindly walk us through the entire thing. So, very quick introduction about who Shreehi is, who we are. We are corporate trainers. We are a team of psychologists, therapists, past life regression experts, and coaches. We've been internationally awarded as the best business coach in 2024. We've also been recognized at the pan India level as top 100 most impactful coaching leaders and top 100 most influential coaching leaders in 2023 and 24. These are some of our corporate clientele with whom we do our regular corporate trainings, executive coaching, and other such offerings. So what we do at Shreehi, we generally do customized corporate trainings, which are mostly experiential programs or labs, leadership labs, which are usually based on scriptures like Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads. We also run these as separate workshops where many individual participants join us, and we do the program where we bring in Upanishads and look at it through the lens of psychology. We call this as Manthan. And when we do it Bhagavad Gita and look it through the lens of psychology, again, we call it Samarpan. It's all about how do we live life as a Samarpan. We're also curating a program based on Ramayana, and that will come up very soon. We are also family business coaches. We've been into family business coaching for some of the prominent family businesses in India. We see that these days many young adults approach us for therapy, and we've supported at least 125 plus successful pregnancies with fertility coaching. We've had some success in health and wellness coaching so far, be it reversal of autoimmune disorder or support for cancer recovery or obsessive compulsive disorder, completely overcoming it with wellness coaching. There are people who are, healing multiple sclerosis at this point of time, clients who are working with us on that. Uh, in past life regression therapy, we mainly focus on the behavioral issues and relationship challenges that people face. And many a times people also come out of the curiosity of understanding what was I in my past life, or what's my purpose in life, or what do I need to learn, and all of that. We also offer relationship coaching for couple, parents, and teenagers. So, without much ado, I would like to welcome Miss Brinda Rao, who is going to be the facilitator for today's session. She is the resource person today. So let me introduce Brinda. I'm going to first pin her so that she's visible for all of us. Yeah, so Brinda is banker by profession. She's a current SAHM. She's a mental health evangelist and a balcony gardener by heart. You need to look at her. The plants you can see at the behind. There are more such plants. She has 150 plus house plants. So she's a complete homebody, and she potters around the house. So that in her small apartment in Bombay, she has 150 plus house plants. She has a blog called Salt Pepper Chutney, if I'm right, correct, Brinda? Yeah, so you need to visit her in her Instagram, to see how she, bring greens, and she really does a wonderful job there. So off to you, Brinda. The entire next 1 hour will be Brinda's floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anurama. Thank you, Deepa, both of you, for the opportunity. I hope I'm audible. That was a very nice introduction, very kind words. Thank you. So, welcome all of you. I can see some people here: Mukta, Sangeeta, Chitra Iyer, Kanchana, Geeta. So, some of the videos are off. If we can have the videos on, I think we can have a good discussion. So, I hope you have your cup of tea or coffee with you. Let's do this book club. I think this is the first that Shreehi is hosting a book club. The previous time it was a movie discussion, which was very entertaining and very engaging. And Anurama kindly asked me to facilitate this. I'm very happy to do it. And the choice of book was also very good, Ghachar Ghochar. I think the name itself is very interesting and makes you want to pick up the book. So I hope some of you have read this or heard the audiobook that Anurama has kindly sent to all of you. Let's do a little summary of this book first, from what I have understood and read. This story is set in Bangalore. So most of you, I think, stay in Bangalore. I'm a Bangalorean myself, but I have not lived there. Yeah, Anu, I know you live there. I am not sure about the others. So I am a Bangalorean by blood, but I don't live there. So this story is set in somewhat in my idea, it is in 80s, I think in 80s Bangalore. It is about a family of five who lives in a very small house, one of those old, dark, dingy houses that we have probably seen growing up. And then they come into a lot of sudden new money, and then they move into a bigger house, a very palatial home, and then shopping becomes like a hobby. They fill their house with furniture and things, and there is a sudden taste of new money. And we see how the family dynamics change, how the relationships change between the family members, and how certain things go unsaid and certain things come out in the forefront, and a lot changes by the time the story is over. There are a very few characters, but most of them are important characters. We have Appa and Amma, the parents. We have the brother who is the protagonist. We have a sister called Malati. We have the uncle who's called Chikkappa. And we have the waiter who's a very prominent part of the story. His name is Vincent. And we have the narrator's wife and a probable girlfriend of the uncle, whom we are not very sure what the relationship is. And we see how the story unfolds as the fortune starts playing a major role in the family dynamics. How money becomes important and relationships start to fade. So, this is a basic summary of the book when I read it and understood it. Can we go to the first slide? Thank you. Yeah. So I came up with these ideas of reading in between the lines because this is a book club and we tend to read through a Kindle or a regular book. So we see that the protagonist, the narrator, who has a very passive communication style. He's not very open, he doesn't talk much, and he expects things to organically happen in his relationships. That seems to be one of the major points in his life, and how his wife Anita is not very comfortable with this whole point of being very passive in the relationship. She wants him to be a little more accountable, but that doesn't happen through. Any of you have any ideas about how this could lead in the story? Any pointers, any thoughts about the narrator or his wife? Anybody?
The excuse me, the protagonist may be so he could have joined in his that masala sona masala, so he could have engaged in much in this sona masala instead of simply sitting and doing nothing. Simply he could have
Correct.
given suggestion or something or else, so he
Yes.
could have been
Yes.
busy in that.
Yes, he did not have a very defined role in the company. That is what we come to understand.
Exactly.
So that is also one of the points why he doesn't hold himself accountable anywhere. We also see Amma and Appa struggling to manage the household, and they depend heavily on the Chikkappa's influence and his business sense. So they require a third wheel to run the house. And we see the daughter of the house, Malati, who doesn't really take responsibility for her own married life and returns to the parental home and continues to live her life like a child in the house. Any thoughts about these people, the parents or the daughter? And what about the uncle, the Chikkappa, who holds a kind of a financial position over the other family members, where he develops the business on his own, even though the investment comes from the father? The uncle seems to be doing most of the business decisions and managing everything, right from the henchmen to the sales and everything. So, why does that happen? Did you all have any thoughts about Chikkappa's
In fact,
nature?
one thought that I had when I read this thing, right, it feels as if not just the protagonist, everybody in the family doesn't seem to own up to an adult relationship. Even Chikkappa is not owning up any relationship, or not getting married or settled, or or
Exactly.
doesn't allow the children to grow up or take some proper role in the Sona Masala business. So it appears as if everybody is hiding behind their image, but
Yes.
nobody is having an adult Nobody
Yes,
is playing up to the role of an adult.
yes. Lot of things are left unsaid at the table. That is a very valid observation.
And also, I felt like did not feel like they are like all bad people, but at the same way, no one is accountable for their own role. It felt like that.
Correct,
We cannot tell they are
correct.
bad. At the same time, we cannot even tell them they are good. Somewhat every character felt like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I felt.
They're all in their own world. That's a very
Right.
valid point. Thank you, Deepa and Anurama. Can we have the next slide? The house. Yeah, so let's do a very small activity. If some of you who has read the book, can you describe the old dark house in your own words? What you felt when you read the book or heard the audiobook? Can you describe the house?
There was no kind of sunlight at
Mm-hmm.
all, right? In sense like I think it was always dark. It's not like it's dark only in the night,
Mm,
right?
right.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Not much ventilation,
It was
you would
like
say.
a compartment, so like a railway compartment like that, right?
Yes, one room behind another.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's a very good observation. Yes, yes, that's how they describe it.
Correct.
Initially, there is a small room, and then there is a room where you sit and eat, and then there is a kitchen which is long and it doesn't have many windows. I think that is how they have described it. Yeah, it's one of those old houses where you cannot expect much luxury, isn't it? So probably that is why they were so happy to move into the bigger house, if you think about it. Anybody else who wants to describe the dark house, old dark house?
Yes, Sangeeta.
For
Yes.
me, I don't know. When I was reading this book, I felt like not from the narrator's perspective, but I have I've grown up with 120-year-old grandmother's house in Shankarpuram, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a huge house. But the rooms and all that, whatever they described, the characters they're describing, was exactly what I grew up in my granny's place till I was in the second or the third grade. The Chikappa was a doctor, but here it's something else. So uh, exactly, I was like, "Am I? What's happening? What is this story? Why has it come onto my lap?" I know I've deviated from this. It was not a dingy house, but the rooms were dingy, multiple
Mm-hmm.
rooms and all this. So I know I'm not answering your question, but it's still taking time for me to, when you guys are
Exactly,
discussing.
exactly, exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, that is a wonderful observation that it took you back to your childhood and it made you think about your grandma's house and how probably the family gathered over there. I
yeah. And
think
there
we
was
should,
silence. Nobody was
yeah,
owning up. They were all leading their life as if nothing mattered. It
yeah,
really made, now if I
right,
think, it's made a huge impact on me. Yeah. If I would
right,
join
right,
the dots,
right.
yes.
Yeah, I also think that the translation was excellent because this being a Kannada book which has been translated to English, I think they captured the essence of the household very well, even though it was in English and not Kannada. So, as people who have seen the houses in Bangalore, we could very easily make that picture in our head about how we have probably seen some old people living in such houses and how probably there was not enough space, not enough luxury, and how we long for the bigger house as members of this family do. Right. That's wonderful,
For
Sangeeta. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Anurama.
for me, the ant infested and the way that they go on
Yes.
explaining about that,
Yes.
that really took my attention.
Yeah, yeah. And very funny moments also when they're going around and hitting all the ants everywhere. Mother is sitting up in the middle of the night looking for ants, the train of ants, and how they finish the food. You leave food outside and it's all just taken over by the ants. All those descriptions were they were very well translated, and I think they struck a chord with all of us who read the book. Definitely, definitely. Okay. If there are no other thoughts, can we go on to the next slide? So this is a very small observation that I made. I just made a list of some new words that I learned when I read this book. even though it was a translation from a Kannada book. I think some very nice words have been used. Let me know if you have noticed these words when you were reading the book, or probably when you heard the audio file. Did you think, wow, that's a new word that I don't know? So ebullience is something that I had never encountered before. We just say, oh yeah, she was very enthusiastic. But we generally don't say she was ebullient in her walk, or she was ebullient in her spirit or activity. And compunction, such words, we generally don't use it in our daily way of talking and all that. So I just put together a few words. You can take a screenshot of this screen and probably look it up later. In the old way, we would do it with the Oxford Dictionary or a Renan Martin, but nowadays we have Google for everything. Or Chat GPT will even read it out to you and say what this means and how you can use it in a different sentence. So that is also available. But it's just good old English, I guess.
Nice, choice of words. I've never heard any of these.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, yeah,
right? I
right.
haven't. Debris, yes, we use debris, but we don't say detritus. It just takes you back somewhere 50, 75 years old, probably. Any other thoughts on
It's
how this
sometimes
goes? Or
it's also about written text versus the way we speak, right? Sometimes it's different. The way we
right?
consume information, yeah. So
Yes,
maybe those days, the written text or even the way people spoke was pretty cool than the kind of colloquial terms that we
exactly.
use now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think their language was much better, higher standard than what we do. We just write, to be honest, TBH, IRL, uh, yeah, yo, and we put all these things on the WhatsApp chat, and I think we've forgotten words nowadays. It's all emojis and a lot of green and pink and red things on the phone, but we've forgotten to actually write. Writing, letter writing, reading, even physical books, the Kindle has taken over, your Kindle app has taken over. While most people prefer the Kindle, I'm a very old school person. I still like to read a book. Ghachar Ghochar, I got the book, I sat down with it, I finished it in a day, and then I was just open to this book club. I said, okay, I'm ready to discuss this. I was done with the book in a day. So let me know your thoughts, how long you took to read it, because it's a very small book. I think it's hardly 200 pages. It was just a one time read, wasn't it? So, if there are no other thoughts, maybe the next slide, please, Anurama. Yeah, these are some things that we can have a discussion about. We can think about Malati's nature, why she was not taking the responsibility of her own marriage, and even after returning home, she had a little bit of interest in the henchman called Ravi, whom Chikappa had employed. So, was there something lacking in her marriage? And she went back and got the gold. So, what do you think about the way she behaved? And she was as cool as a cat back in her parents' home with her jewelry and all that. So, what was happening there? Was she too comfortable? Any thoughts about the sister of the narrator?
To me, it feels as if uh, she had her own expectations when they, moved into the Sona Masala, moved into the bigger house. She probably,
Hmm.
like how she saw her brother to be always sitting at home, she probably expected her husband to be always around her, or, not do any work or whatever.
Work.
Huh,
Right, right. So, she was expecting a luxurious life,
probably, yeah.
probably, because she was maybe used to the shopping and the outings and all that. Could be, that could be a reason. And if you also see the father figure, Appa, and how he very easily gave up complete control of Sona Masala to Chikkappa. And he was just a partner who had invested a lot of money in the company but did nothing much. He did not expect his son also to do anything. They were just happy to be around the company and being led by Chikkappa and his business sense. Why did that happen? Probably because he was not able to retain his job as a tea salesman. Did some guilt creep in? Did some inferiority creep in, that I was not able to keep my job, or I was not able to be the primary financial provider for my wife and kids, and I had to depend on my brother to take the lead? Do you think that made him quiet down? Do you think that made him take the back burner in the family dynamics? Any thoughts?
For me, I thought when the Appa, when this was started and the Chikappa took over, he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
given up, is what I felt. Like, because the Chikappa is on the forefront, leading everything, and the way anything, even yeah, somewhere in the story, they also mention about how he recovers his, funds. The
Right,
Chikappa, how he recovers the funds. There, they
right,
mention like, he. What do you say, like he uses those people, those collection agents to recover the funds, right?
right.
But and they speak so much about how the appa used to recover the funds. He used to, being a sales manager, he used to go behind and walk so much and collect the
Yeah,
funds. So
yeah,
yeah, so I think the way that Chikappa operated was very different, and somewhere in the process the appa has given up, and and I think
yeah.
that's how he has also become, he's not the same, that vibrant kind of a person, I think. They say
Right,
he's
right,
kind of, he's not, they kind of say, tell him like he's sick these days and things like that, right?
right,
So to me it
right.
felt like, he's kind of given up once he took
He
over.
has given up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you remember the scene where they sit and do the tallying, the physical tallying of the money when something goes wrong, when some money is missing? The
Yes,
entire
yes,
night the brothers sit and
I
they
know.
sit and tally until that paisa is found. So for a person to have that much of sincerity and suddenly step back and say, "Okay, you do all the work. I'm just going to hang around." That was a very sad thing for the father, but we are left answering without answers because we don't know why that shift happened. So we can only assume.
To me, it also feels like till the time Appa was, running the family with his meager income, it was done
Yeah,
with a lot of dharmic way. Nothing
right,
went out of proportion. Everything happened as per, the Purusharthas of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It actually went in that level. Somewhere
right,
when Chikappa came in and, when he said, okay, you can go and buy the furnitures or whatever, it felt like all
hmm,
hell broke loose for them all of a sudden.
right,
And the way that they explained the marriage and the bana plantain leaf filled with so many different items, right?
correct,
That again
correct.
shows where they've just gone out of their
Overboard.
this thing overboard. Yeah.
Right, right. That's very interesting to merge the dharmic connection with how he probably felt. It is a very interesting connection. See, that's how we connect mental health and spirituality and just a normal 200-page book. I think that is how we tend to bring it together. More ideas, more points of view. That's extremely beautiful way of putting it. And also this guy Vincent, the waiter at the coffee house. I mean, what a character. Who was he? And how could he do that? How could he read minds? What was his special trait? We do not know anything about Vincent. If someone has picked up anything about Vincent from the story, please unmute and enlighten me because I couldn't pick up much about Vincent other than the fact that he was this guy with a very nice aura who could comfort people like that. So did any of you find anything strange about Vincent?
I didn't find him very strange, but
Uh-huh.
I found him a very curious, extremely curious human being. He had an
Okay.
app to see, watch, observe, and notice.
Right.
Like when you read R.K. Narayan's books, when
Right.
you see from his viewpoint the way he describes a little crows on the road or somebody just selling a flower. So he weaves a story about them, and most of the time it's true. So
Right.
Vincent, I felt, was someone with an extraordinarily curious head and was very observant. stand back
Mm-hmm.
and observe and notice people, and he knew it. So I
Yeah,
think when
that's
we
right.
do that too, I think it's like an inspiration when you read Ark and Aaron, when you're seeing that you can actually read a lot about a person's even without their talking. If you are, you come into that space when you come back and
Right,
you get it, and
right,
you don't know
right.
how. So I feel Vincent was somebody like that. All of us would have gone through this. I feel
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think he was holding his own space very well. That made the others, kind of drawn to him. So there's a good virtue in that also, holding your place very comfortably and not being insecure, even though you're a waiter at a coffee house. He had a probably a very pleasant aura about him. That's what I felt.
I just want to add that, it's if you've lived in a locality or like a area for a very long time, you grow up with
Uh-huh.
certain familiar people. Like you go for a walk,
Uh-huh.
it's certain things that you see, and that's what Vincent was, right? It's you go back to that particular place, and there you know that you can find that waiter, you can find that cashier, or you find,
Right,
the grocery person. So the kind of conversations that you had when you're a child, and then when you grow
right,
older, those people have become home to you, and you don't realize the mystery behind them because you just know that you can talk about anything to that person.
right.
For example, my saloon shop, like if I go to my neighborhood saloon, she'll talk about everything, boyfriend problems, things that we don't need to, but it's very perceptive. So yeah, it's that's what it
Right,
reminded me of.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Vimala, for sharing. Yes, Chitra has something to say.
Yeah, I think his role being with people the whole day,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
role, the work that he does, uh,
Mm-hmm.
has made him observant, respectful, discreet, almost
Right.
providing an empathetic space
Mm.
which is
Right.
unavailable elsewhere for the
Mm-hmm.
narrator.
Right. Yes. Kind of a free therapist at the coffee house.
Yeah,
Right. A safe space. Someone
yes,
who listens.
safe space,
Right, Chitra.
judgment.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Vimala and Chitra. Very nice insights. So, one of my blog posts when I write in my blog was about, I'm sure all of you will know this, about the Mava mill, where you go to grind your sambar powder and rasam powder and rice flour and everything. So, the guy who works there, he's covered in flour the entire day. And at the end of the day, he looks like a ghost. He's covered in white powder from head to toe. And when I used to go there with my party, my grandmother, I always used to feel there's a ghost in that shop because I was very little then. So that was one of the very nice blog posts I wrote about the Mava mill, going there with my party. So I think such people take you back 20 years, 30 years, very easily they take you back. So thank you for sharing those thoughts about Vincent. And let's talk about the ladies. The narrator's so called relationship with Chitra, whom he frequently met at the coffee house, and his wife Anita. Both seem to have left him without any closure. Any thoughts about that? And also Amma's anger at the so called girlfriend Tuvi of Chikappa. Why did she react like that? The women overreacting. Why do you think that happened? Whether it was Anita who was holding the narrator responsible, or Amma getting very angry at Chikappa's relationship. What happened with these ladies? Could any of you make out anything from their behavior?
I think Amma's anger at Tuvi, I would say, like, uh, f- for her, it's like, she will protect Chikappa or something like that. Because in that particular incident, they also say that Chikappa was inside the house. But
Yeah.
then he still, he said, maybe he showed hand or something like, kind of said,
Hmm.
like, just tell I'm not at home.
Yeah.
So somehow she was hell bent to protect Chekappa or something like that. And even
Hmm.
as I was reading, I felt she was overreacting, doing all sorts of
Right.
things to the,
Right.
yeah, poor lady Tuvi.
Poor
That's how
lady
I
who
felt.
brought some masoor dal for Chikappa because it was his favorite
Correct.
dish.
Correct.
Yeah, and these women leaving the narrator also, that also left me with a lot of questions because what happened? Any thoughts? Did Anita return in the last chapter? What did you think? What did you
Why would
definitely there
she,
are
was my
question marks.
question. Why would she ever
Yeah,
return?
why would she return? But did she? Did she not? Why did Chitra leave? Why did she never come back? Why was there no questions? As a race, we are used to asking questions. Why are you looking so dull? Why are you looking so sullen? Why are you so happy? So for everything we have questions, but when people stop asking the questions, you don't know where the relationship is going. That could have also happened with Chitra and the narrator. There was no back and forth,
Again,
right?
linking it back to the concept of karma, right? Spirituality, if you're
Right.
talking about, like how the protagonist left Chitra without telling anything. He just shifted the time that he went to the coffee house. Anita
Right.
also left him without telling a word. No
Exactly.
completion there too. So it's like what
Hmm.
he sowed, he ended up reaping.
Yeah.
Full circle. Yeah.
It comes back. It comes back. Probably. Probably. That's a
And
good
I think the
observation.
protagonist never, he never showed up. Like he was that, passive kind of person. So I think only so much you can stand.
Yeah, there's only so much you can keep asking, right? Why you
Right.
like this? What are you doing? Say something. If that guy just wants to sit there, what can you do about it? Probably. And how many people in the world know the words Ghachar Ghochar? Now this everyone must know. Was it 5? Was it 10? Was it 15? How many people?
Sangeeta will answer.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely need an answer for this.
I can go for it. If no one else is going, I'm holding back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, five of them, including the protagonist. Initially, it's only Anita and her family, right? Anita's
Right,
brother is the one who's invented the word, so it's only the four of them, and then the protagonist gets to know. So five. Now
right.
all of us know.
Right. Exactly.
Now all of us know. So there's no numbers now. Now it's an open secret. Whoever has read the book knows what a mess it is. So linking it back to mental health. So if Gachar Gochar means a mess, what can we do to untie this mess? So what is ungochar gochar? Can we do something like that in real life with our feelings, with our emotions? What role does closure play? If in a story we are asking so many questions with a piece of fiction, I'm sure all of us have so many questions in real life, so many incidents where we seek closure. Some of them we may have received, some not received. Something you want to say to someone, something you want said to you from somebody. Oh, he never apologized. He left without a word. Where did that guy go? Why did my friend ghost me? Now you have all these new words ghosting, this thing, that thing. But in simple English, either you don't talk to someone or someone doesn't talk to you. The relationship just dies a natural death. Was there closure? Was there not? What can we think about it in the mental health aspect of this story? Anurama, can we do the activity?
We can. You don't want to
Yep.
complete the last question, protagonist name? What would you name? I thought we'll do a Namakarna there.
Yeah, we could try that. If the group is ready to do the Namakarna right now, we can put one name to the guy who kept drinking coffee. And by the way, what was his father's nickname? That's an easy one. The narrator's father's nickname. Quite easy. I just gave it
Coffee
away.
King, Coffee
Coffee
King.
King. Yeah, Coffee King. So these are small things that we picked up. So what would you name the protagonist if you could name him? Just go unmute and say it.
I would call him lazy.
Lazy masalas is the future.
I think he represents an everyman, uh,
Uh-huh.
basically not having, he doesn't display having much agency,
Mm-hmm.
leaving all decision making to others around him. So I think
Right.
what, by not naming him, it is to not give him that the power of identity.
Mm-hmm.
So if Anamika can be a girl's name, then he would be Anamik.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is superb. I
anonymous.
mean, that's Mr.
Brilliant. I love
Anonymous.
this.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
You're
He could just
anonymous.
be
Yeah.
another Rahul or Aryan. God knows how many Rahuls and Aryans are there in this world. So he could be just one Lata Sudha Kumari, something in Bangalore terms. Every house will have a Lata, every house will have a Sudha. So he could be one of those guys who just merges into the background, right? So far, any thoughts, anything to share before we do the activity on closure?
I really loved Chitra's this thing of Mr. Anamik. I was thinking Vikram, we say, no? Like that.
Uh-huh.
Vik Vikarma means someone who's doing all forbidden action.
Ah,
So I was thinking I would probably
okay.
name him as Vikarma.
Yeah, that's a connection that I did not draw because probably I'm not very well versed with the words, but that's a wonderful connection. As is Anamik. Anamika, yes, I think we have heard quite a lot because women can be very mysterious. But this man being mysterious, I don't think it suits him at all. He better be just play by the textbook and just be a man. That's enough for us. So can we
Contrary
go
to
ahead
that,
with
I
the,
think men are more mysterious. They are not
are
very
they?
expressive compared to women. At least that's what I have grown up seeing and I'm living with. I'm
Uh-huh.
more expressive, more vocal, but men are very, less words and leave many things unsaid.
Hmm.
And yeah, that leads to more imagination on the other. It leads me to think more, imagine more.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad.
right. There is a need for more communication, though, isn't it? It would be nice if they could communicate more and better.
Maybe, maybe not also.
Yeah, depends. Whatever works, whatever works, right? So when you're dating and stuff, mysterious, broody, all that is nice. But then when you get
That's fun.
practical, you really need the guy to be accountable, to own up. And because Anita has a problem, she says, "What do you do at work? What is your profile? How much do you earn?" And he kind of just says, "नहीं पैसा आ जाएगा, कोई problem नहीं है." But where is the money coming from? What is his role? What is he accountable for? And when he wants to hide from her, he just goes into work and stays in the room without doing anything. So that is also a loophole that we are seeing of mysterious being not accountable,
I
isn't
also
it?
remember this, Brinda, like when the protagonist shares or somewhere, as they grew up, he was always told,
Hmm.
once he goes to college and then he has to get a job and take care of the
Hmm.
family. But somewhere after they, get this sudden richness, and then there is no say about he get going for a job, right?
Right,
Earlier when
right,
he used to study maybe in school or college, they kept saying, once you grow up, you are the one who is supposed to take care of the family and things like that. But then
right.
yeah, because of this Chikapas taking over and then the new company and all, they kind of this guy gets lost. He says he
Hmm.
somewhere never heard of it again, and that's also one more reason for him to become, more aimless and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. He never set any goals for himself. Let things pass.
This at times we see as a sad reality in some family businesses that we work with also. Not in
Mm-hmm.
every family business, but there are some family businesses where everything is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
The Gen Z leader is only supposed to sign where they are asked to sign, nothing more. So they have
Right,
no meaning, no purpose in life, and
right,
naturally they end being in depression beyond a point of time.
right. That is very valid. Yes. Yeah, that is very valid. So many thoughts. So let's put the thoughts into an activity now. We'll go forward with the activity, Anurama. Thank you.
So, what we were actually intending is there's no closure in this particular
Mm-hmm.
book, right? We see every character is left dangling. And all of us also would have some issues in life where we have not got a closure. And since he is in the mental wellness space, we need to do something really linking it to mental wellness, right? So, a very, very small activity, if we could request all of you to probably, get a paper and pen or a notebook and pen or whatever. If you could think of someone with whom you've not got a closure in life or where you have not given a closure, it could be either ways, right? There could be times where I have not given a closure to someone also, or where I have not received closure also. Whichever way it is, think
Right.
of one such instance, and we would probably want you to write a very short letter to
Short
that
letter.
person.
Yes. That is exactly what I said a few minutes back. Anything that you would like to tell them, or anything that you would like to be told that you felt was hanging in midair. Welcome back. How was the experience?
Words, sometimes words speak a lot and get you
Uh-huh.
thinking, but here, and sometimes it cannot do justice. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it was something which was eating me up for years now, and exactly a day before a very important festival for me, I got an answer which suddenly I feel light, uh, very light like a feather.
Excellent.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you
I'm
for this.
I'm I'm glad. I'm glad.
Thank
So
you,
glad.
Sangeeta, for sharing.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Chitra.
sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else who wants to go next?
It was a it was a great experience for me as well. I
Mm-hmm.
was touched by the kindness that Sangeeta offered, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I think I found missing.
Right.
So, and I have often seen how kindness truly moves me,
Mm-hmm.
and it brought closure as well.
Very glad. Very glad, Chitra. Very glad for you. Thank you, Sangeeta, for helping her see the kindness in the world. It's there. It's still there somewhere. Glad for the both of you. Who wants to go next? Who's next?
It was good for me to share and, bring it to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good. I hope you feel better today. Who was your partner, Deepa?
It's me. It's
Mukta.
Mukta.
Oh,
It
okay.
was it was nice feeling actually. So she expressed very nicely. So I don't know how did I answer. Yeah, that's it.
How was your feeling in the exercise,
Yeah,
Deepa?
it was nice actually. What she expressed was a very nice kind of thing. She said, it's much better. Yeah,
Are you feeling better?
yeah.
I guess that Vimala is left.
Yeah, I was with Anu. So, so it's a very cathartic experience when you know that you're never probably going to you never receive that closure. You know for sure that's not going to happen, right? So it feels very cathartic in that way, and also a release because you know it's been with you and you're sitting with that guilt most of the time. But when you say it out loud, it becomes real, right? And yeah, hearing those words that I've written itself made me feel like an out of body experience. Like the fact that it's happened and it's okay to sit with it. So yeah, thank you for
Right.
this.
Glad, very glad. That's very pertinent that the written word and what you wanted to say,
Yeah,
at some point they come together and give you that feeling.
yeah,
Very pertinent.
it
Thank
does.
you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any thoughts on the entire book club thing, the closure experience? Any closing statements, words,
Yeah, any
thoughts,
takeaways?
takeaways, what you felt? I love the company. I was
I love
had a
the
very
company
good,
too.
Yeah.
yeah,
I would
a
like to
very
say
good
one.
1 hour.
So, according to this book club, so we can say that illar mane dosai tute. So, I don't know whether you can understand it or not. Yeah.
Mukta has become Vincent now.
Yeah.
And the power of
Kamani Ghar Ghar
hearing and
Ki. Sorry.
yeah, the power of hearing, listening to someone, being
Right.
heard, and the power of expression is is I think what everyone needs in our lives. Those words, and that's what the beauty of words are. It can break you at the same time. It can heal you. Just to, like Chitra said, kind words is what we all find to listen to from
Very,
outside.
very
This was
true, Sangeeta.
amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
For me, in a world where we are going more and more near AI,
Mhm.
such human connections and, someone else understanding and just being there for us, offering that space is so, so precious in today's world.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, the box where you take, I am not a robot. We are not robots yet. We are still humans in flesh and blood and words and music and song and dance. So I think let's celebrate each other. Let us be there for each other. How much ever little it is. It's okay if it's just a half hour or 1 hour. The fact that someone heard you out, I think that will make us sleep well tonight, hopefully.
For
So
me,
are
it's just
we have we
a quiet.
overshot on the time, Anurama? Do we still have time?
We can probably go for another 2, 3 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If somebody wants to say
yeah.
something, please go ahead. Vimala?
Vimla was sharing something.
No, I was just saying as to how the power of stories, right? So it shapes us, is what we think. Sometimes sharing the story also makes it very healing. Listening to another person's stories also is healing, right? Like reading stories where you can connect with, you feel
Right.
less lonely. Even if you're not participating, if you're not part of that experience, also it makes you feel seen and less lonely. So the power of storytelling is something I take away with as well. Yeah, and all of us connected in so many ways, right? So yeah.
Absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here today because I was a little unsure of myself. Oh my God, what if nobody turned up? And then Anu said, no, 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 you come. We'll have a good 1 hour. We want you to do this. So come up with more titles if you feel you have some more suggestions for more book club titles or movie club titles. Please send them Anurama's way. I'm sure she will, give them a read and consider it for some future programs like this. And I had a very wonderful 1 hour. I mean, one of the best I've had in a few days because there's lots going on in the personal front. Thank you so much for coming to this book club, and I hope we continue to do more such things.
Thank you for the amazing facilitation that you did, Brinda. We really
You're welcome.
enjoyed. This is the first of book clubs for Shreehi, and we thoroughly enjoyed the way that you took us through the entire thing. Look forward to more from you.
Thanks.
And many of you would know that we are going to do an art therapy, which is happening on the 8th of September. So looking forward to having you all there, for the art therapy session also. You
Right.
can leave a review for us, in the QR code. If you scan, you can leave a review for us. In case if you feel the timing has to be shifted, because even for this book club, we had some 24 registered participants, but only a few could turn up today. So if you think the timing has to be changed or the day has to be changed or whatever, please write to us or let us know. We look forward to really impacting the entire community at Chintan and many more to make more positive ripples like this. Thank you all for joining in today. Really, really appreciate the time that each one of you have given.
Thank you, Anurama. Thank you,
Thank
Deepa.
you.
And thank you,
Thank you.
Sangeeta,
Thank you,
Vimala, and
everyone.
others. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
you.
Brinda. You are
Bye-bye.
amazing.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Anuma.
Thank you.
See
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye. Bye. See you.